Good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
So you are full time into IAS preparation after your graduation.
Yes.
And from where you are preparing, Delhi or Bhopal?
Sir, initially I was preparing from Delhi, currently in Bhopal.
You must have observed Bhopal very well because you belong to Bhopal.
Sir, I only recently shifted to Bhopal, sir, just 2 years ago.
Recently, this Swachhta Sarvekshan awards have been announced.
Yes.
Two cities have won the award this time.
Sir, Indore and Surat have got the first prize.
First prize.
Yes.
And where does Bhopal stand in the list?
Sir, it was in top 10, sir. I forgot.
That you are right. Okay. So you find from your personal observation Bhopal to be a clean city and deserve under the 10th.
So there are certain regions in Bhopal where I feel it is still there is scope of improvement, but overall, yes, sir, it is quite clean, sir.
All right. Your father was DGP or
Training, sir.
training?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And he was transport commissioner also.
Yes, sir.
So, have you taken interest in his job profile, what he was doing as a transport commissioner, or no linkage to?
Sir, I tried to understand about the transport sector, but I wasn't able to talk too much because at that time I was preparing for the exam with Delhi.
It's all right. What was your optional paper?
Maths option, sir.
Maths.
Yes.
Great. Have you tried to learn about our ancient Indian mathematicians and their contributions?
To some extent, yes.
Whatever the extent it, go ahead and tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have Brahmagupta, who gave rules about addition, multiplication, and division related to 0. Aryabhatta, who had contributed to 0. We have Bhaskaracharya, who wrote books such as Leelavati. Sir, we have Pingala, who gave contribution.
Leelavati is not a book, it's a part of Siddhant Shiromani.
Thank you, sir. Very sorry. Yes, sir. Pingala had contributed to Fibonacci numbers.
Okay. How mathematics has traveled from India to the Western world? What has been the route?
Yes.
Ancient Indian mathematics.
Yes. Sir, first would definitely be the numeral system. It was given to the world by India, although it went through the Arab nations. That's why it became known as the Arabic numerals. Secondly, sir, 0 was invented in India, and it's also there in our Vedas, and later it traveled to the rest of the world.
Name some contemporary or recent Indian mathematicians who have given big name to India and their contribution also.
Yes. Sir, Mr. Akshay Venkatesh and Mr. Manjul Bhargav have recently won the Fields Medal. Sir, I'm not entirely sure, but I think one of them has worked in topology. And sir, Ms. Neena Gupta has worked in statistics. She also solved the Zariski cancellation problems.
It is generally believed that studying mathematics makes you logical and your reason gets sharpened. You can think more precisely. You subscribe to this view?
I do believe so, sir. Yes, sir.
How does it?
Sir, in first would I would say, sir, any mathematics problem requires a lot of focus and patience and continuous effort in that direction. Secondly, sir, the nature of mathematics problems is mostly that one piece of information is given and something has to be arrived at. That, sir, teaches us a structure and a chain thinking, which teaches us to connect the dots. This I believe it is.
What is quantum computing and is there any role for mathematics to play in quantum computing?
Sir, quantum computing is based on the system of qubits, and it is a highly advanced system of computing. For example, sir, Google's Sycamore was there. They are extremely fast, sir. And sir, the entire concept is based on mathematics.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, you stayed Arera colony. So,
Yes.
what does this word Arera mean?
Sir, it is named after Arera Hills, sir.
Do they surround Bhopal?
Sir, they are near Bhopal, I believe, sir. I'm not sure if they surround.
And then what is the significance of Bhojpur?
Sir, Bhojpur is a place in Bhopal and also near Bhopal. So it is named after Raja Bhoj of Brahman dynasty. So there is the famous Bhojpur or Bhojeshwar temple.
You talked about mathematics. What is unique and significant about this 2024?
Sir, could I take a minute?
Yeah. This number 2024, is it significant in any way, mathematically speaking?
Sir, I'm remembering something related to composite or prime numbers, but I'm not
Okay,
quite
okay,
sure.
it's fine. Ajay, then, is too much of emphasis on numbers in policy making, does it prove counterproductive in any manner? If a policy is over-focused with numbers, are there any pitfalls of it?
Yes, sir. Sir, while numbers are certainly useful for data-driven policy,
Mhm.
sir, sometimes there can be the issue of social aspects, sir. For example, when we focus on GDP, we do not take into account care economy or mother's contribution. Also, when we focus on per capita income overall, we do not focus on the distribution. So, sir, sometimes the qualitative aspect gets missed out.
Okay. How would you differentiate between total quality management and business process re-engineering?
Sorry, sir, I've not heard this.
You've not heard this term?
Right, sir.
Okay, it's fine. And how would you differentiate between government, governance and civil society?
Sir, government is the set of all the agencies and the entire body which is at power and which is carrying out governance. So, governance is the set of all activities done for welfare or for regulation of society. And sir, civil society refers to collection of people, NGOs and other groups, who are not directly part of government.
And what is meant by a responsive government?
So a responsive government is one which listens to people's needs and their aspirations and makes efforts in that direction.
So can there be a government which is non-responsive, insensitive? Has it any right to be called a government then?
Sir, sometimes it may happen that such a government is non-responsive due to the large burden of welfare activities required and the constraints on the part of the government. But indeed, sir, good governance should definitely be based on responsiveness.
And have you heard of these terms, good government index?
Yes, sir, I've heard of it.
Who has coined that term and who prepares it?
Sir, I'm not entirely sure, but I think, sir, World Bank plays a role in this. I will check it.
Okay. Then it is often said that fundamentals of our economy are very strong. So what does it mean? What fundamentals do we refer to?
Yes. Sir, I believe it refers to a range of macroeconomic indicators such as the overall growth rate, the level of inflation, the debt sustainability, and sir, it tells us whether in the coming years we will have a resilient growth or not.
Okay. And what distinguishes wealth from GDP?
Sir, GDP is a well-defined term in relation to the total output produced by a country within the geographical barrier, sir. Wealth has no particular definition as such, sir. It can be described in multiple ways. Not only monetary wealth, we can also talk about cultural wealth, sir, for example, in India.
But being more focused in terms of stock and flow variables.
Yes, sir.
What is the distinction?
Well, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. So GDP is per annum, so it is a flow variable. Wealth is the accumulation, so it is a stock variable.
Okay. And how do you define a policy?
Sir, a policy is a set of guidelines or rules or an arranged course of action with respect to any particular area.
And what is a public policy?
Sir, public policy, in my understanding, is a policy which is intended to work with people or for some particular aspect of public dimensions.
So is a policy binding on the government?
Sir, I'm not entirely sure, sir, but I believe it is more of the government's stance and agenda. There will always remain constraints because of it is usually not binding.
Okay. And what is this concern about freebies? What do you understand by this term, freebies?
Sir, freebies is a term which refers to usually free commodities that are offered, especially when it comes to election manifestos, sir. So the concerns are, number one, is that they are not considered ethical because they are trying to influence a voter's vote based on some item being offered for free. Secondly, sir, they are considered as unsustainable as they have a huge fiscal burden on the government.
So are they different from subsidies?
Sir, at times subsidies are also considered a form of freebie because there is a waiver or a monetary aspect involved. Sir, usually subsidies are for welfare purposes, whereas freebies can be non-welfare as such also. Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ayan, what does this Ayan means?
Sir, it means eternal bliss.
Eternal
Bliss. Yes.
Okay, that's good. You are an electrical engineer.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, when we refer to, I am a lay person so far as electricity is concerned. When we refer to the capacity of AC, you mentioned about 1 ton, 1.5 ton, 2 ton. What this ton means? It is the weight of the AC or what?
Sir, could I take a moment to think?
Oh, sure.
Thank you, sir. Very sorry, sir. I believe, sir, some element of mechanical engineering is also required in this.
What is British thermal unit per hour? What is the unit of, what this unit signifies?
So usually 1 kilowatt hour is the unit, sir.
No, I am talking of BTU, British thermal unit per hour. When I refer to 12,000 BTU per hour, what does it mean?
Sir, I've heard of it, but I'm not able to recall. Sorry, sir.
It is the 1 ton. 1 ton capacity.
Thank you.
It's called 12,000 unit per hour, British thermal unit per hour. Anyway,
Thank you.
you are an electrical engineer. What would you do to mitigate global warming?
Sir, one would certainly be a shift to renewable energy,
Mhm.
for example, solar energy or hydro energy. Second, sir, is the shift in our day-to-day equipment such as vehicles to electric vehicles. And sir, I would like to implement it, sir. For solar, we have solar-powered electric vehicles and also solar rooftop, which I believe will play immensely in this direction.
But these technologies which we will be applying for renewable energies will produce a lot of wastes.
Yes.
So what are you going to do with that? This is another miss.
Yes, certainly, sir. The e-waste has to be treated, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, one alternative is to research more on technologies such as green hydrogen.
Mhm.
But sir, e-waste treatment plants and facilities also have to be researched in, sir.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
perhaps, yes.
You come from Madhya Pradesh.
Yes,
Ujjain is located in Madhya Pradesh.
yes.
Why it is so important, Ujjain?
Sir, one of its most prominent importance is that of the Mahakaleshwar temple, which is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas.
There are 12 Jyotirlingas.
Yes.
Can you name them?
Sir, I know a few. Sir, in Madhya Pradesh, there are two. Sir, Mahakaleshwar and Omkareshwar. Sir, I'm remembering one Trimbakeshwar. Sir, I will recheck.
Okay. Prime meridian passes through Ujjain. You know about this?
Sir, I'm aware of another theory that Ujjain is the center of the world. Yes, sir.
It is the center of the world. Is there any astronomical observatory there?
Sorry, sir. I will
Ujjain?
very sorry, sir. Not aware.
Okay. Madhya Pradesh came to news just some years ago about Kuno National Park.
Yes.
Tell me about Kuno National Park. Why it was in news?
Sir, it has been in news because of the cheetah reintroduction project. Sir, 20 cheetahs were brought, sir.
From where?
Yes, sir. From sir, Namibia and South Africa. Sir, they were African cheetahs. And sir, recently one of the cheetahs, Asha, has also given birth to 3 other cubs.
Okay. Can you name the national parks in Madhya Pradesh?
So there are 11 national parks. Sir, Fossil National Park is there. Kanha National Park, Tench National Park, Panna National Park, Sanjay National Park, Madhav National Park, Van Vihar National Park, Satpura National Park.
Okay.
Kuno
Where is Bandhavgarh?
So Bandhavgarh is, sir, it is in the northwestern part, I believe, sir. Sir, it is in Madhya Pradesh.
Do you know about Tiger project?
Yes, sir.
Why is it necessary? Tiger project, why not it's a Jackal project or Vulture project or whatever? Why Tiger project?
Yes. So the Tiger project launched in 1973, I believe.
Mhm.
Sir, it is extremely important. Sir, tiger, number one, is ecologically very important. Being an apex predator, it keeps the ecological balance in
Is
check.
it a keystone species?
Yes, sir. Sir, because the entire ecosystem has to be protected for
Mhm.
protecting the tiger. So, sir, by conserving the tiger, we are indirectly protecting the entire ecosystem.
So if you remove tiger, what will happen to that ecosystem?
Sir, there would be a lot of imbalance, sir. The direct preys of the tiger will grow in population,
Mhm.
and the preys who were the second species, which were the prey of tiger, those preys will actually reduce in number because of uncontrolled growth of the prey of the tiger, sir. Other imbalance can also happen, sir, in biodiversity.
How it will affect the floral assemblies of that ecosystem?
Yes, sir. Sir, if the population of herbivores either reduces or increases, that will have a direct bearing, sir, on the floral population also.
Or whether invasive species will make its way?
Yes, sir. That is a possibility, sir, because due to the lack of predators, other invasive species may gain ground and they will not have much competition also, sir.
Now we talk about monoculture. So whether we should favor monoculture in our agriculture system or in our forest plantation,
Sir, I believe that.
because it's easier to harvest.
Yes, sir. So there are certainly positives of it, as you mentioned, sir. But I believe, sir, crop diversification and multi-cropping tends to be more sustainable because not the different nutrients of the soil are used up, so they do not get depleted. And sir, there is also a sense of insurance because a particular crop may be vulnerable to certain pests.
Okay. Monty sir.
So, USC says that you have only opted for Indian administrative service and foreign service and not opted for any other job. That means if you get any other job, you will not take it.
Sir, actually, I am already in the Indian Police Service, sir. Hence, I have only opted for the IAS.
So, you have already Indian police service, you mentioned this.
Sir, I have mentioned when we filled the gaps, the service allocation had not been done. So I mentioned that I have been recommended for appointment, but the joining was done much later, so that we could not mention that.
Are you under training now?
No, sir, I have taken extraordinary leave.
You have not reported to Patel Academy.
I have, sir. I joined, but then I took leave, sir.
Which card are you about?
Sir, cards have not come out yet.
Okay.
What, you got it last year?
Yes, sir, in November.
And about this confusion that the chairman asked about this your father's job description, transport commissioner as well as DG police training. How does it square?
Sir, he has retired now, sir. His last post was the DG police training. Before that, he was transport commissioner.
He's also an IPS.
He is an IPS officer, sir.
And you say that you taught lots of scholarships. What kind of, there are about so many scholarships you have mentioned. What scholarship do you give?
Sir, chronologically speaking, sir, the first one was MPSC scholarship in 2015. Then, sir, the Aditya Birla scholarship in 2017. And the OPG.
What is Aditya Birla scholarship? What does it sponsor?
Yes, sir. So it is for academic excellence and leadership. Sir, from the first year when it was awarded through a process of interview, sir. After that, for the remaining 4 years, there was a continuous assessment of a person's academic as well as extracurricular activities based on which the scholarship was continued.
It's a financial support.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me the general question that is often given that for the IT students, why you get the prize position of being an IT graduate. And So that's, you can contribute to the nation in a much different way. Then coming to the civil service, which any student which in ordinary graduation can also do. How do you justify your, after such priced education, switching over to the civil service?
Sir, I'm certainly extremely grateful for the subsidized education. Sir, I do not think it is a waste because while it is true that as an IIT and as an engineer I could have contributed immensely, but I believe the education at IIT will help me both directly and indirectly in my administration. If anything, sir, I look at it as a motivation to work harder in service.
Now, how will it contribute directly?
Yes, sir. Sir, my understanding of electrical engineering will help me understand the policies related to electricity better. And sir, since the power sector needs reforms, sir, and there are emerging technologies such as electric vehicles, having a broad understanding will certainly help in that direction, sir, for better implementation and coordination. Sir.
But do you think the current UPSC selection pattern, isn't it flawed? If you look at it, for example, if we instead of appointing, Government of India instead of appointing, going through a process of one examination, then selecting people for the lifelong career in IAS, IPS or allied services. If it's given over, even outsourced, for example, the Ministry of External Affairs outsourced the passport mechanism to TCS and it's doing so well, much better than what the government officers were doing. So it's outsourced to maybe engineers, management experts in the country. Perhaps Indian administration will run better. Don't you think so?
Sir, certainly in that direction, lateral entry is being considered to that end. And sir, as you mentioned, sir, certainly there are flaws in the current recruitment system because no system is perfect, sir. But sir, one excellent feature of the examination system, I believe, is that it tests the perseverance and determination of the candidates, which becomes extremely important for the service, sir. And sir, there are multiple stages to this exam, and the mains stage itself is highly rigorous. So sir, it is not only one exam, but it thoroughly checks multiple dimensions of a person, sir.
Okay. And your CV says that you have been a chess player, and so you have had a lot of accomplishments in chess. But suppose what if you look at the sports, how do you see it? Suppose if the India-Pakistan sports relationship is not established, because we accuse Pakistan of being a terrorist, encouraging protecting terrorism. But do you think in terms of improving better relationship, we should have a sporting relationship with Pakistan?
So just to clarify, sir, sports in the literal sense for sporting relationship?
Yeah, direct sports relationship. The Indian players go to Pakistan, Pakistan players go. Or they play in a third country?
Yes. Sir, I do believe that eventually we can opt for the same. Sir, at the moment, certainly there are concerns, and Pakistan, especially in its current financial crisis, may not be able to work well in this direction. Sir, once Pakistan takes efforts towards terrorism, and also we get adequate safeguards for our players, then we can move ahead in this direction, sir.
Tell me, you've been a science student and you have done well there. So you obviously know how to foster scientific temper. But we see increasingly there is a tendency in India to foist non-scientific, religious conviction over the people as a whole. It's with regard to health, with regard to food, with regard to practices, and with regard to marriage and all this. How can you improve the scientific tempo? What measures the government of India should take, or even the citizens should take to ensure this religious fanaticism is curbed and we foster better scientific tempo?
Sir, I believe that religion has always been a part of India and would continue to be. So I believe rather than curbing it, perhaps we can align it with science. So we can look at what religion teaches us, we can look at our history and the cultures of different people, different backgrounds, so as to understand the logic and scientific aspects behind it. In a more direct manner, sir, so through school curriculum, bringing more application aspects will help people understand science and its importance. So, for example, conducting experiments to teach science or teaching maths through audiovisual tools, the students themselves will be more attracted towards these fields and will build a more scientific temper. Thirdly, sir, when religion is or other such aspects are misused for electoral or other gain, then sir, that is a major concern. So overall public awareness about this will help in this regard, sir.
You responded to that the climate crisis in which renewable energy should be given the emphasis. But what's the challenge about renewable energy is the storage
Yes.
and the cost factor. How do you resolve that problem?
Yes, sir. Sir, one is to diversify the sources of renewable energy. For example, nuclear energy, hydro and wind. Second, sir, would be technological intervention. For example, sir, we have graphene supercapacitors being researched, which would allow storage. Third, sir, would be to increase the efficiency of our renewable energies. For example, the perovskite solar cells and using other material. And fourth, sir, also mechanisms such as hybrid power plants. They can be brought up in larger numbers. They will provide more renewable energy, sir. And so we will not have to worry about the low efficiency.
If you look at it, China and India were in the same stage about 50 years ago. But today, China lives ahead in terms of scientific research and technological advancement. Why India fell behind? And what should India do to come at par or overtake China?
Yes. Sir, first towards policy difference. Sir, India had a closed economy for a long time, whereas China focused on being export-led, which led to fast economic growth and consequently scientific growth, sir. Secondly, sir, Chinese system of PSUs being highly regulated, that allowed greater efficiency, which was not there in India. And thirdly, sir, China also had a bit more raw material, which it harnessed effectively for both scientific and economic growth, sir. Coming to what India can do differently, sir, one thing I would say is that already as per projections, India is now having much higher expected growth than China. Sir, we can instead focus more on inclusive growth so that it is not a non-democratic growth like China, but a welfare-oriented growth.
What is the difference between the fundamental rights and directive principle of state policy? And where should the focus of the government lie?
So the fundamental rights are explicit rights given to the people of India, and the government nor other people can violate them. The directive principles are a set of instructions which are non-binding on the government but serve as a recommendatory tool. So the government should certainly focus on both while ensuring that fundamental rights are not violated, but the directive principles are also being pursued.
Are there conflicts at different points in time?
Yes, sir. Sir, there were conflicts in the past which led to the Minerva Mills case, which established that the constitution is based on bedrock of fundamental rights and DPSPs.
What do you think about this policy of reservation in jobs? Should the reservation percentage exceed 50%? And should the system of a criminal be introduced in reservations across categories?
Yes, sir. I do believe, sir, reservation being extremely important for socio-economic growth and for inclusive growth. It can cross 50% also, sir, if need be. I believe the more important aspect is to have it as a temporary measure and for it being more targeted so that the most backward people are able to reap the benefits. And sir, as you mentioned, creamy layer can be introduced for other castes also, for other categories also, so that the most backward people avail of the benefits. Sir. Thank you, sir.
You have studied mathematics.
Yes.
Like there is a name called Fermi.
Sir, FERMAT?
FERMI.
Yes. Okay, yes, sir.
Fermi. So, what is why he is generally remembered?
Sir, I'm remembering Fermi's constant, And sir, I think the unit is also named after it. 10 to the power minus 15 is a Fermi meter. Sir, sorry sir, I will check
Okay.
again.
And does he have any, he has any connection with nuclear bomb?
Sir, could I take a moment to recall?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm remembering the particles called fermions, but I do not have a
Okay,
good
no
understanding,
problem.
sir.
Like he has also come out with a quick estimation, Fermi approximation. Like suppose I ask you, what is the number of pizzas which is served in today's Delhi? How will you answer it? Can you answer it quickly?
No.
No. Okay, no problem. Now coming back to your interest in chess,
Yes.
how does being a chess player can help being a good administrator?
Yes. So the qualities inherent to chess, such as that of sir, patience and focus, are certainly important for an administrator. Secondly, sir, the calculative thinking. At any point, we have to think about the future in chess, also for future moves, and similarly in administration. Thirdly, sir, about analytical abilities. At any given situation in chess, we have to analyze the existing threats and all the possibilities. Similar has to be done in administration, sir. And I also feel that chess as a sport itself can be propagated in a district to promote constructive utilization of youth or to promote sports in general, sir.
Like these days, artificial intelligence is replacing human capability of chess playing. Can you say some of the important events which AI has done in chess?
Yes, sir. Most chess engines today are based on artificial intelligence, such as Stockfish, sir, and Leela Chess Zero. Sir, Stockfish has an estimated chess rating of 4,000, whereas the highest rating of any human player, Magnus Carlsen, is around 2,800, sir. This shows how far AI-based chess engines.
Whether AI has beaten any human chess player?
Sir, AI certainly always does beat human players, sir. And historically, sir, there was a match between Kasparov and a computer engine called Deep Blue, sir. But that was not artificial intelligence, I believe, sir. At present, sir, Stockfish is able to easily defeat all players.
Okay. Now, who is your icon in chess? You have Indian icon or you have some international or European or American? Why?
Sir, I would say no specific player as such. Sir, both Indian and foreign players have inspired me. So when I play bullet chess, Sir Nihal Sarin, an Indian player, is an exceptional player, that too at a very young age. So in classical chess, Mukesh and Pragnananda have been very inspiring and iconic for me. So their perseverance and how much they improved rapidly, that has always inspired me. And sir, overall Magnus Carlsen's style of play, which is often called a textbook style of play or a clinical play, that I believe is very important for a chess player, sir, to always focus on the principles and to think in a very logical and structured manner.
How do you visualize robotics or robot playing chess? Do you see any pitfall in that?
So just to clarify, sir, robot as a computer or as a machine also?
As a machine.
Yes. Sir, I have seen a tournament where a machine was playing chess match, sir. It was a match with Grishak, who was a world champion at that time. So one is certainly that the match was not quite as much of a spectacle as it could have been with humans. And sir, one funny incident from that time was that the machine almost harmed Grishak in moving the chess piece. Sir.
Yeah, that is, I think there has been such incident. Okay. Now coming back to the background in electrical, engineering, like India has certain goalposts, for energy transition.
Yes.
So can you name what are those goalposts and how India aspires to match or to achieve those goalposts? Very briefly and to the point.
Sir, one is the net zero emission by 2030. Second, sir, is by 2030 to have 300 gigawatts of solar power. And sir, by 2030 to have 50% of energy by renewable, non-conventional energy routes, sir.
And what are these major non-conventional energy renewable sources in India?
Sir, non-conventional and renewable will be, sir, solar, which is around 70 gigawatts. Sir, wind and large hydro, which are both around 50 gigawatts. Biomass, which is around 10 gigawatts. And also we have small hydro. Sir, non-conventional but not under renewable is nuclear energy, sir.
Now, why hydrogen energy is so much in use, and what kind of potential uses of hydrogen energy we can see in the near future?
Yes, sir. Sir, the green hydrogen mission was launched last year. Sir, green hydrogen is being considered as an extremely clean fuel and also a very efficient fuel once technology advancement has been done. At present, sir, the efficiency is low.
Where does it find very useful uses, and which is being conceived of in under implementation?
Sir, one is green hydrogen based vehicles, sir, in the transport sector.
Now, transport sector has major, energy transition targets. So, how India is going to, transform the transport sector to make it more climate friendly?
Yes.
What are our plans in that?
Sir, one is the promotion of electric vehicles. So there have been schemes like the FAME scheme, the Niti Aayog battery swapping policy to promote electric vehicles, sir. Secondly, sir, installing charging infrastructure for electric vehicles is being done. Thirdly, sir, incentivization through subsidies for buying electric vehicles. This is also being done, sir.
And like in automobiles, there is a critical input that is semiconductor chips.
Yes.
Why very few countries have been able to produce chips, and what is India's strategy or plan to produce semiconductors in the country? And what is the ecosystem? They say that we do not have the ecosystem for making chips. What does it mean? What are the major ingredients of this ecosystem?
Yes. Sir, the first reason why not many countries have been able to produce is that, sir, the fabrication plants are extremely capital intensive, sir, and they have a long gestation period. So countries like India, despite having the raw materials of silicon, have not been able to invest heavily in that direction. Secondly is, sir, the importance of rare earth metals that are involved in the process, which are not abundant in every country. Sir, coming to India, sir, we have schemes like Design Linked Incentive, which is promoting semiconductors. So we have the Semicon India project, which had rupees 76,000 crore outlay for the first phase. Thirdly, sir, we are incentivizing companies to come to India for making fabrication plants.
And which are the companies who have shown interest so far?
Sir, Foxconn had almost established their plant, but it got cancelled. Similarly, Vedanta has also shown interest.
एक सवाल जवाब कीजिए. Like among all these services, only the IAS and IPS, they are the all India services.
Yes.
The constitution does not make any distinction between the two. They are treated as par.
Yes.
But in practice, why is there this dichotomy between the two?
Yes, sir. Sir, one is that the district collector, at a district level, the district collector is the head of the district, and all the decisions are usually taken by him, except in where police commissionerate is there in place. And also, sir, the social factor is there, that the IAS is usually seen as the highest level of government official. Thirdly, sir, the opportunity of work in IAS is more diverse. That also makes it a factor why it is usually considered as above IPS.
Okay.
You were born in Napier town, Jabalpur.
Yes.
Who is this Napier?
Sir, Charles Napier was a general in the British Army. So he is popularly remembered for conquering Sindh, and also a famous telegram he sent with Pekabi.
What was the message in the telegram that has become top of the town?
Yes, sir. So he wrote Pekabi, I have sinned, which also meant Pekabi, I have sinned. That was a word play, sir.
So what does it mean that he has sinned? What kind of sin he created in sin?
Yes, sir. Sir, he had gone to fight off someone, I'm not able to remember exactly, sir. he was going to stabilize the situation in Sindh, but he ended up conquering Sindh. Sir. This was, I believe, after the third Anglo-Afghan War. Sir.
But why he had to conquer Sindh? What was the importance of Sindh?
Sir, it was certainly strategically located at the border of India and Afghanistan. But also, sir, it is said that it was more a matter of retribution, sir. Having lost the Anglo-Afghan War, that's why they conquered Sindh.
Very well said. You are also an aspirant for foreign service. You
Yes.
like to choose it if you get it, right?
Yes.
Our foreign minister has written a book which was recently in the news.
Yes.
Any idea about that?
Yes, sir, the India way.
India way is a very long way back.
Sorry,
Just 2 days back.
sorry, sir, I missed it.
You have missed it. Okay, thank you. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
We'll just call you. Thank you.
Yeah.
तुम कांची सिंगल के बैचमेट तो नहीं हो?
No, sir, I think she's one batch senior.
Senior हो?
Yes.
She had come for the interview with me and she took a session. But you know about her?
Sir, I've heard.
She is at academy, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Why does your application doesn't mention about 23 exam, only 21, 22?
Sir,
23 तो ही है यार अभी ongoing.
But it should mention about the. But you've taken twice, but it's saying 21 and 22. You've already taken means
23 का final just नहीं आया. What will you write?
no, but sir, I think I have mentioned, sir.
No, this is not mentioned
No,
here.
no.
This is a mistake here.
What will you mention? Qualified or not? Because exam.
It should show that civil services prelim main 2023 में exams are taken and that is the main में qualified. It's only showing 2021 qualified to 22 qualified. Not 23 exam. It doesn't mention it.
Sir, I think you might have my old app, sir.
Okay, it could be.
Because sir, transport commissioner also was only in the old app, not in the new app. sir.
Okay, okay. हाँ तो इसमें ये भी कंफ्यूजिंग है ना. This says you appeared at the interview. No, you were recommended
exactly.
for appointment. Yes.
That is.
Yes, sir,
That's
that
why.
was last time.
That was the.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
That is the reason this confusion.
Only chairman will have this.
Whosoever may have it, that is not an issue. तो ठीक है.
Although you are fabulous, I think it's absolutely fine. You've already made it into the service and answered very well, and I think all members are very happy.
Nothing to say. You can just keep it to this level. You will be fine.
Yes.
Okay. What was the mark when you qualified for IPS?
Sir, 187.
Well, that's fairly good. You will maintain that range. No danger of slipping down. You can go up, but you won't fall down.
और रिटर्न में क्या था?
Sir, 810.
810.
Yes.
You have to
Just
ask
one
something.
observation. When I asked about the capacity of the AC,
Yes.
1 ton. So I expected that as bright electrical engineer, you should know what is 1 ton AC.
Yes.
And the British thermal unit per hour, that is the unit of the cooling capacity of air.
Yes.
20 British thermal unit per hour is required for 1 square feet.
Sir,
Okay, it's okay.
कुछ पूछना चाहते हो?
नहीं.
आईपीएस में ऑलरेडी सिलेक्टेड हो, बोर्ड को पता चलेगा और फादर भी आईपीएस में है, तो ऑब्वियसली आईपीएस रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस, पुलिसिंग रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आएंगे ही आएंगे. व्हिच वी डिडंट आस्क वी डिडंट आस्क मच ऑन
We didn't ask.
सो वो आएंगे तुम्हारे पास. आईपीएस रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे जाएंगे. ऑलरेडी यू आर इन द आईपीएस, फादर इन द आईपीएस. पुलिसिंग, एंड आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव प्रिपेयर्ड वेल ऑन दैट.
Yes.
Policing reforms and what are still the shortcomings of that, and whether police should be autonomous.
8 issues रिलेटिंग टू पुलिस सब कर लेना उसको.
Yes, sir. So one doubt I had. Sir, regarding foreign service as my preference, sometimes I'm asked that why have you filled this also as IFS as second preference. Sir, what could be a good answer?
कुछ नहीं, if I get an opportunity to serve abroad on behalf of India, I love to do that. और क्या? Just give a small reason for that. Okay, it excites me.
India's interest in a globalized world is equally important, you know. I mean, India's development.
India's diplomacy is becoming very, very proactive now. India is now a known part, so being part of that will be a good thing.
Global South,
Close to
India is,
reckon with
it's a
the
breeze
world.
between, you know, I mean, Indian diplomats are a breeze between India and other countries. So they play an equally important role, you know, as an IAS of India.
Around this, you formulate your answer. Please.
Good. All the best.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Which day your interview?
Sir, not in the first place.
Oh, so it will be in March or what?
Sir, from February 19th onwards, I think.
They have to announce the new list.
Yes.
19th onwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Chalo, okay. All the
What's
best.
your father's name?
Sir, Mr. Mukesh Jain.
Which batch is from?
89 lakhs, sir.
89 batch.
Yes.
Okay. Did you know about Sanjeev Kumar Singh, an IPS in
Yes, sir.
MP?
Yes, yes.
He was 87 batch also.
Yes, sir.
Your
Sir,
father must be knowing.
Yes, sir. We were in the same colony for a long time, sir.
Acha. I have gone to that colony. What is the colony?
Sir, New Motibag, sir.
Ah,
Yes.
New Motibag. The same tower.
No, sir. I think he was in a different house.
He was a close friend of mine. He is no more now.
Yes. Sir.
You know his son?
Sir, I
Adi
met-
Vardhan and all?
Yes, sir. Two sons, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll mention you to him. Okay.
Okay.
The robots broke one of the child's finger in Russia. So there can be an accident. I mean, suppose just remember that, as you mentioned yourself, that
Yes.